Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Wichita we had a little bit of everything. It was pretty cool on Saturday with high winds. Yesterday warmed up pretty nicely. Supposed to be pushing 70 today, so we'll see how that plays out. Wednesday, daytime highs are forecast to be in the low 30s. So we've had a very, very, very nice extended fall. Pretty mild temperatures, and now it's time to pay the piper, so to speak. We're going to open today's trading facing the bank holiday tomorrow, where the Treasury markets will be closed. Tends to kill activity the day before that. Nobody wants to take a position into that of any meeting. Then we've got the 3, 10, and 30-year on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and the 3-year option is usually a pretty good one. So I think we'll face a trading range market today with and I'm biased because of the 3-year auction. The buy area is probably got a pretty good support at the 1620 area. Might be a little higher. Might have to pay up. Don't know just yet how that's going to work out, but we'll get started trying to buy on the cheap as usual. I like the long side better because of this week's auctions and the strong market that we had into yet Friday's close and then the overnight market. So buy one will be 17 to 21. We'll put a question mark by 25. Support might be at 20 to 24. Don't know just yet. Right now you can see the market is rejecting prices above 29.5. So I think once again the easiest trade to see is selling failure to punch through 127. 27 would be a little close to the market, but we do have volume at 28, so I'd like to get the trading done closer to the buck. In fact, let's just do it that way. We'll get started, the idea of a trading range market at 31 to 03, and then 7 to 11 for sell 2. I think it takes some help from the stock market this morning to rally the market into that second area. And again, depending on what goes on this morning, it may take an entry price closer to 28. We'll just have to see what kind of setup we get. And trying to buy on the cheap at 17 to 21, you know me, and 9 to 13 for buy number 2. Overnight, stock markets are up, crude is up, the euro is up, treasuries are up, and gold was off about $3 when I looked this morning. So, and stock markets, only Japan's stock market did not rally overnight. And Japan stock market, usually when the other markets are up, Japan's stock market is down, so it doesn't trade with the rest of the world's markets. Okay, we've got resistance. The knob spread has widened, so we'll make 7 to 11, sell 1. Might take a 3 to get in, don't know. 15 to 19, sell 2. On the buy side, last rotate down stopped at 20. We got an overnight session low of 23, so I'm going to put it 17 to 21, but again, we'll make it 21 to 25 on this one. Try to buy it closer to the 21 side as the knob spread, then 13 to 17 for buy 2. One of those Monday mornings where we start out without news, and it's sometimes it takes a couple hours for the market to settle in with the focus mainly on the direction of the E-mini in those situations. Okay, gold is kind of the odd market over the weekend. It is lower. Not by much, a couple of $3 when I looked early this morning. We like the 75 as a sell zone, and you can see London's high is at 73, just below 73. So we're getting lower lows. We're at 66, so we're going to make our first sell, 69 to 71, lean against 70, and then 74 to 76 for sell 2. On the buy side, we have this 2-letter ledge down here, so our first buy will be 60 to 62. Lean against those single prints, and then 55, 57 for buy 2. A lot of talk this morning on the stock market chatter lines about the coming bull market. Coming bull, I don't think we've left the bull market that we've had since March of 2009, and so I don't know what they would characterize or label this market that we've been in, but I mean, that's countered by its tax selling season. Usually November does bring some weakness into the stock market. That's typically over by the second week in December. Sometimes it starts before Thanksgiving. Sometimes tax selling is Thanksgiving to the second week in December. But it's where people clean up their portfolios. They take what losses they can and offset the profits they have on their sales during the year. Looking at the euro, which is higher, to me it tells me that the guys aren't really sure that the ECB's commitment to supporting the markets anyway in every way they can, and that their QE1 may not be as big as everybody has thought it was going to be. It leads, so rhetorically they've done, Draghi's done a masterful job of supporting the market. You got a 4 or 5 letter ledge up here at 125. It is the buck, so first sell is going to be 25, 25.10. And then our second sell is going to be this 20 to 30 area, pretty much where we were on Friday. The buy side, London stopped at 70, so we're currently at 92, so our 75, 65 will bring us in above the overnight session's low. And then 50 plus or minus 5 will be buy 2. The news out of Europe, the Italian industrial production came in. They were looking for a small minus. They came in at minus 0.9, and then Syntex investor confidence came in. They were looking for a minus 5 or 6. It came in minus 11.9. So pretty light news out of the EU when you get right down to it. Not much to work with there either, although it does continue to show economic softening, weakness, concern about the future when you look at the sentiment measurements. Okay, crude is higher. Russia, it's hard to know what, Russia is a masterful player, and they definitely play chess. They don't play checkers. And they sent, at the end of last week, tanks back into the Ukraine and artillery. And the middle of, toward the last of the week, there was again reported fighting in Donetsk, or Donetsk, however you pronounce it. And so what's the purpose? They've gotten Ukrainian gas paid for over the winter. I guess Ukraine has gotten their gas paid for over the winter by the West. They've secured at least minimal supply. So is it time to go back to war? It's really hard to figure. So you've got that. The possibility of war. They're not a threat to the crude oil supply. In Iraq, you're seeing that when you have a ragtag army of terrorists, this is to me, when you go back and read history, very, very small amounts of men were able to take over entire countries when Islam broke out from the Saudi peninsula. And the reason they were able to do that is that most of the people that stood up against them just capitulated. They just threw in the towel quickly. And the way they did that was very early on when they would take cities, they would kill every fighting age male, and they would take the women and send them into slavery, the females. And so terror was at the very base of how they were able to overthrow these villas quickly in countries. And ISIS' early success really was based on the same thing, this brutal terrorism. And I mean, Mosul, these guys were outnumbered at least 10 to 1. Mosul threw in the towel. But what is happening right now is that they don't have the staying power, the holding power that they had. Their campaign is based on people joining them. And what do? They go into these cities and they keep promulgating terror. They cut off people's head. They execute people. They kill the women and children. And that works against them. So their successes in Iraq, I mean, they're being bogged down logistically for sure. And then the campaign of terror is backfiring on them. Plus, you have the Shia militias, and the Shia-backed units of the Iraqi army are fighting like there is no tomorrow. And so they're making advances, but in little areas, but it's not across the broad front, and they're losing towns in the process. So ISIS has kind of slowed down, so the Iraqi supply looks pretty stable right now. But so I think the rally in crude oil is on this Ukrainian-Russian deal. Where is resistance? 80 is a pretty round number, so 75 to 80, sell 1. Sell 2, 80, 25 to 50. On the buy side, London's low is 63, so we're going to work 79 even, 78 3/4. It's pretty aggressive, like the 78.50, 78 1/4 buy, much better. Again, it's Monday morning, and you don't have a lot going when you come in. The markets tend to take a couple of hours to settle in. That's really might be what we're facing for the first couple hours until the week starts off. Okay, the E-mini. The E-mini is holding its gains. It doesn't get anything. The only real caveat that you see in the morning tape, the morning chatter, is that tax selling could be slow the market down or hold in its current range. And we're looking at nothing but P's, and we're looking at nothing but buying. So we've got pretty good support once again, just like we had on Friday in this 15 to 20 area. And this market has pointed up. So I think, again, the easiest trade to see is going to be failure to take out this 32.50, 35 area. And if that holds up early, then it's a test of support. You can see right here that this 20 to 25 area, so really early in the session, if you're going to get long, it's going to be in the 25 area, plus or minus, which will be buy 1. Later on the day, what we find is that the market is really, really, really strong when it starts out, and you've got to pay up to get long. Later in the session, our points come in. So I think 15 to 20 is where support actually is, and that buying against 20 is the better trade. But early in the session, you got to pay up to get in long to retest the highs wherever they might be. And in this case, it's 33.50 to 35. And you can see 30 F period stopped at 30. So little resistance at 30, then it's 32.50 to 33.50. And we'll put sell 2 at 40 plus or minus 1. So no news to drive the trading. It's trading technically. That tends to hold the market in a range. Definitely an up bias in the stock market. And like I said, there's even articles out there that coming bull market. Now, if you're a fundamentalist, it's hard to believe, but you know, as long as the world central banks keep the money pump going and the rest of it, it's going to be hard for this market to break. So sideways to higher is still my call on the stock market. Okay, take about 20 minutes to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that. I will see y'all then. Don, I'll go back and look at it. Econo Day had it on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so I'll check the dates again later. If it is today, that would make the bond market and note market even stronger. Be back with you as soon as I can.